the maximum dimensions of our first tank, the maximum length that we can powder coat is at least 6.8 meters long. And then the width, we can do 750 mil. And the depth is around 1.8 meters that we can cover it with our solutions. We have our standard colors here at the Starke Group Limited in the powder coat division. We have powders like Flux Pod, we have powders like matte black, Arctic white, gray friars, all sorts, but dependent on your requirements, we can have Duratec and we can have just ordinary standard colors at your own choosing. On our powder coating process, and the first step here in the powder coating line are selecting the proper jigs. Now the jigs are very important because when you put in the aluminum here, it needs to have a contact. So the electromagnetic contact is reflected on these different jigs. We may have different sections or profiles. Could be a hollow section, could be a closed section, just flat bars, whatever it is that is required. We have the different jigs designed for all the requirements. Here at Starke Group Limited, we use this extremely efficient machine. It's still fairly brand new, called Gamma. It's one of the best equipment, powder coating equipment in the world. And as you can see, this is the feeder that will feed the powder to the automatic guns and the spray gun, hand spray guns to our Gamma machine. And they are world leader in terms of powder coating equipment or application. So as you can see here are their auto guns, and they are controlled by the operators when we have to do a big job and a color run. And on top of this, we have the hand guns here that the operator will use for hand spray. This is to tidy up some of the parts of the metal that could be on, like the condensation channel that they want to put the metal on, so that there is a proper coverage and powder transfer efficiency on the substrate, which is the metal. Powder coating is an electrostatic process, so there is a positive and negative, and when the operator put on the charge, the particles will go and spray onto the metal, and they are like magnets that they're being attracted to the metal. And once it goes onto the metal, there's a proper adhesion and transfer efficiency, and then it will go to the next process, which is the curing of the metal at a certain temperature as prescribed by the powder manufacturer. So when the metal are put onto the jigs, we have a maximum height of about 1.7 meter on the jigs, but the width that it will go through the oven is roughly about 500 millimeters. So once it is painted, the metal comes through the oven, which is heated on a temperature between 200 and 210 degrees Celsius, and this 500 mil width and about 1.7 meter height, it can go through the oven. The overall length of the oven is about 30.1 meters. From the opening up to the end of the oven is about 30.1 meters. All right, so we are going to do the color match test. So this is the sample plate from Dulux, and I'm gonna match it and eyeball, compare what is the sample plate and what is the substrate or the color that we painted. So in this regard, it is a color match. So these are the typical powder coating defects that our QA inspectors look for. And this is an example of powder contamination. As you can see, the substrate has been contaminated with white speck of powder. So we discussed with the team to do a proper cleanup of the booth so that there is no contamination. This is our defects board that we use to illustrate and give examples of the 21 kind of defects found in the Australian standard 3715. This is orange peel, so you can see the little bit of cratering on the metal, and that is so obvious. Another one that we can see this, that's inclusion. You can see a little bit of inclusion on the metal. So these are the ones that we keep an eye on. So we reject them and do not give it to our customers. So this is our film thickness tester called alcometer, and this is measuring. This is a device measuring the thickness, the film thickness of the powder. And how do we know that this is good? It is a minimum 60 micron to 120 micron. So as you can see, it's around 110 micron. So it's perfectly powder coated. And this one is 88.8. So that's perfectly past the film thickness tester test. We have to do for quality check on the substrate or on the metal is a test called reverse impact test. So this is a reverse impact machine. So we put it like this and then drop it. And we have a look at the result. So you can see there is no flaking on the other side of the metal, which is the visible surface, meaning this is fully cured according to our specification, and we should be happy with the quality. This is a pass. The check that we do is called cross hatch test. So cross hatch, we got this cross hatch equipment. So what we will do is we will put pressure on this and get it to scratch, and then the other way around will be done. So it forms squares or little tic-tac-toe, if you may, from that practice. And now we will get the tape to put in and do it like this. Now the test will result in seeing whether this is a cured metal or substrate. Now that is cured, that is passed because the little tic-tac-toe did not come off. Now this is the solvent test. We call the curing test or the solvent test. So we have these chemicals that we will be dropping on the powder coated aluminum, and we wait for 30 seconds. When dropping that chemical, we wipe it off, and to check whether the paint has come off. So in this particular regard, the paint is okay, meaning it has cured properly. It's a cured well. So the paint did not flake off. So after our QA test, our team will be able to do a piece count from the job card. So they will count how many pieces of stick for each line items that we had. And then once it's all confirmed and signed off, they will do the shipment confirmation in our system so that we can ship them and move them for packing or distribution to the next team or department.